Okay, so I am going to be talking about SCP-096, also known as the Shy Guy. And so the first thing I have here is actually, you guys can read the special containment procedures if you guys want to. If you guys can even see that, I don't know if it's going to be too small for you guys to read there, but I'm going to read the description part of this. So SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 in height. Is that in meters? Or something? I don't know if that's... I'm guessing probably meters or whatever. But subject shows very little muscle mass with primarily, preliminary, whatever, analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. It was not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no signs of any higher brain functions. It's not considered to be sapient. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly or via video recording or even like pictures, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. I think like art interpretations or whatever don't count, but if you see like an actual photo of him, like if someone took a photo and then whatever, then you know, you will end up having it where he will go into this distress state and come after you. And then SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently approximately 1 to 2 minutes after the first viewing. So if you see his face for 1 to 2 minutes, then whatever, or after 1 to 2 minutes, I guess, then he will come after you. Or if you see it, or if someone else sees it, then he'll come after you or that other person that saw it. SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face, who will from this point be referred to as SCP-096-1. At this point, no known material or method can impede 096 process. The actual position of SCP-096-1 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of 0961 logo place. So, like, it doesn't matter where you are, he will find you and get you. And somehow he, like, knows exactly where you are, I guess. I guess it's just like this energy that's pulling him to you because he knows where you are. But upon arriving to where SCP-096 is, or 01961, did I not put the one at the end of that? But whatever. But once he gets to the person that viewed his face, the SCP-096 will proceed to kill, and they blocked that out, but it's possibly that he eats the person who saw him and whatever. 100% chances have left no traces of SCP-096-1. SCP-096 will then sit down for several minutes before I guess it will go back to the state it was before and become docile once again. So, yeah, SCP-096 will just not stop until he gets to you. There's other ways people have put it. So, there is whatever thing from like fandom wikis and different stuff like that. So, yeah, I could read some of those in this video. But yeah, it's literally just the same stuff usually, pretty much. So I guess I could read this, whatever, from, it's the Villains Wiki, I guess. So SCP-096 spends most of its days pacing the eastern wall of its containment chamber. At the exact moment that anyone who views SCP-096 face, or sees it directly, or a photo or a video through artistic renderings have no effect. So if you see its face directly in a photo or a video, then you're gonna, have it where he comes after you or tries to come after you, but artistic renderings have no effect. So if you see art of him or anything, you'll be fine. So any fan art or anything, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Even, like, I guess, game versions where it's just, like, a model or something, like, that won't have any effect probably, because it's, again, just, like, art or whatever. Someone made that, someone built that, that's not actually him, so unless you actually see him, you're gonna be fine. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands, screaming, crying, showing extreme emotional distress. After 1 to 2 minutes, SCP-096 will stand up and begin to run at the person who saw its face. It's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much, nothing can impede 096's path to the person who ever saw his face. When SCP-096 reaches its target, it will kill them without failing. SCP-096 will kill victims in an unclear way, which leaves no trace of the victim's body, since it implies that it eats them after killing. After killing its victims, SCP-096 will return to its docile state, and then attempt to return to its natural habitat. And then there's also, like, possible origins on here. It's like, due to lack of canon in the SCP universe, there has been several stories telling the origin of SCP-096, and the readers are free to choose whichever origin of further headcanon. So, like, obviously, since we don't have that much knowledge of SCP-096, then we kind of have to make one up. There wasn't really, I guess, a clear whatever from the original person who made 096, so we just have to kind of guess or whatever, and kind of go with whichever one that we think would fit him best, and whichever one makes sense for him, or it, I guess. I don't know. I guess it would be called it, because I guess 096 doesn't really have a clear gender, I guess. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it has a clear gender anyways, but whatever. I guess it kind of has more masculine features, but not really, because it's also just like it's just a humanoid creature. It doesn't really, whatever. But so there's this one here that's like whatever origin story kind of thing that someone made. I don't know. Does it say if it's from any specific person? I don't know, whatever. But it says SCP-096 was once a normal human child who was laughed at by other children for his ugly appearance. This caused a deep depression and self-hatred within the child, and eventually grew up to be a monster who could keep his face hidden at any, or who would keep his face hidden at any cost in order not to be laughed at anymore. So I guess that's one, and I think this next one is a different one, or the same one, or something. I don't know. Oh, and okay, this one's a different one under the other thing. But SCP-096 was once an introverted Korean man who worked as an inclusive okay, I don't know, whatever. But he worked in a famous company, and because of his poor eyesight, often put contact lenses in his eyes. He had extremely low self-esteem, thinking himself unworthy, ugly, and unlovable. He fell deep in his depression that in May 21st, 2020, then he fell asleep. He dreamed of passing the week with a newly hired girl who possessed pale skin and a skinny body. He finally began feeling love and happiness, but when he finally embraced her, she pierced his chest and turned a monster, or into a monster made of silk, which enveloped the poor man. This caused him to slowly wake up and was left emotionally destroyed and soon transformed into a monster. So that one, I mean, I don't know, I guess that one seems a little more supernatural-ish kind of thing. So it's a little more whatever. And then there's discovery stuff. So SCP-096 was first discovered by SCP Foundation in its natural habitat near a mountain in an unknown place. The Foundation they sent a retrieval team, Zulu 9A, to capture the creature. Upon landing their helicopter near the monster, it turned towards them, allowing all of the team except for the captain, who had turned his back in order to talk to a doctor, to see its face, causing it to cry before violently attacking them. The team used all of their weaponry to damage the monster, but to no avail. It shrugged the attacks off and managed to kill almost all the team except for the captain. Then the backup team, Zulu 9B, arrived, and they were told by the surviving captain not to look at its face. Since he had figured out the reason why the monster attacked his team, they put a bag on its head and loaded it into the chopper before sending the monster to a Foundation site. So I guess in this wiki, I don't know, is that the right whatever, or is that just a whatever that someone made up or something someone wanted to add to this, I guess. But yeah, I don't, like, this wiki has so much, and it has, like, whatever for, like, game stuff and whatever, so I guess if you just want to read more stuff about it, like, there's also on a lot of fandom wikis, there's, like, whatever trivia and stuff. There is also the SCP Containment Breach wiki, which is, I guess, for the video game, for SCP Containment Breach video game. And it's pretty much, you know, the same, whatever, of, like, it's a humanoid creature, and it's normally docile, but then when someone sees it, it'll come after you, kind of thing, or come after them, whoever sees it. And then it has, like, about the in-game whatever of it. So it's pretty much the mechanics of it in the game is pretty much the same thing, where if the player sees it, it'll come after you and end up making it so it's a game over, and you have to try to play again and redo everything. So yeah, and then there's also the SCP wiki, and so it's like the official wiki or whatever, not just a fandom wiki, but yeah, you can check out that one. There's a little bit more, I guess, so if you want to read that too, it's kind of the same thing that I read at the first part of this video, but yeah, there's also some other stuff a little bit more to it there if you want to go to the official SCP thing. You can probably just put in SCP-096 and then just, like, find all the, like, fandom wikis and the actual whatever wiki. the official whatever, so yeah. I guess that'll be it for this video though. Kind of a long-ish video for this one, but yeah, anyways, I guess bye then.